In my last video, I covered Emily Wilson's critique of Nolan, but I failed to talk about characterization, so I will do that now. One of the characters that Wilson is disappointed in is Calypso, because she thinks that Nolan failed to capture the full range of Calypso's character. And the example that Wilson gives is the grand operatic speech of Calypso when she says, "Why are there double standards? Why do male gods get to kidnap women, while when female goddesses try to kidnap people that they like the same way, their attempts are always thwarted." And Calypso's speech is also in the context of Athena, the goddess who helps Odysseus, because at the same time that Calypso is detaining Odysseus, Athena is also trying to get him out. And Athena also, as Wilson states, is a strong female character who pulls a lot of the decisions in this Odyssey. And Wilson's other problem is that that agentic aspect of Athena is not explored. So the issue I have is that if you are to read this as is, Wilson is basically saying that this entire speech about rape, and more importantly about why can't I rape someone the same way someone else does, she seems to have an issue that this speech is completely taken out, with no mention of the fact that this is actually an issue of coercion, and that this is, one of the huge moral dilemmas in the Odyssey. And I think Nolan personally was right to not have the speech. And I actually think that what he does instead is he applies the speech elsewhere. And this is actually, spoiler, when Penelope lashes out in front of her son, Penelope by Anne Hathaway. And she says, something along the lines of like, my job as a woman was so hard because of these double standards. I can't sit on a throne. I can't keep the kingdom together the way a man would. And I mean, for me, that's an example of a characterization that Nolan made. And I think it would have been more effective to have addressed this point. Now, the real issue I really have is, why is there this call in this example of, casting female agency in the light of rape? And rape in the classical antiquity sense, didn't necessarily mean sexual rape. It just meant possession. But it could also mean sexual rape, and elsewhere Wilson says, why was there no sex in this film? So here's the thing. I think there's a lot of issues of translating that kind of possessive sex to a modern audience, and I really think that the way, and Wilson does not really offer any ethical or any useful, in my opinion, useful film-centered alternatives for that. And so, yes, I am picking on her point, and I'm picking about one point about how she expects characters to appear on screen. And so I think it's kind of ironic that she is talking about a speech of, double standards, because I actually think my main issue with her work, with Wilson's critique, is that it is incredibly double standard. She herself is aware that adaptations are not perfect, mimetic sort of representations of history. She is aware that translators and people who do adaptations have the critical right to adapt the text to be different. And she herself is also very well known for doing some very excellent feminist translations of the Odyssey. So she herself does that. And I'm saying, if you yourself are doing that, and why are you not extending the same professional grace to someone else who also does this?